We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Live from the GME studio, it's Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Are you an entrepreneur who has felt like you were all alone on your business adventure? Well, you're in the right place.
You know, being an entrepreneur can be lonely and challenging at times, looking for people to bounce ideas off of and get feedback.
Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
The show designed by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs just like you.
Keep watching for your dose of entrepreneurial fun with the Roving Reporters and, of course, Kim and Carrie.
As we like to say around here, buckle up, Buttercup.
I know, we're just dancing. Good morning.
I can't help it.
Welcome to show number 81. I can't believe it, Kat. October is up on us. And welcome, everyone. I want to introduce my beautiful co-host for today, the icon herself, Kat Crociato. If you don't know Kat, you need to. And she is freaking fabulous. She is a movement specialist among many other talents and gifts that she has. She also is a retired Air Force veteran. Kat, thank you for wearing the uniform. I got this right.
You did. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you for what all you do for all of us. If this is your first time to GME, as we call it, I am Kim White. I'm the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team and community, and I am so glad you're here with us today. This show is for entrepreneurs, and it's by entrepreneurs. We want to be inspiration and living proof for what you can do in your business as well. So, Kat, welcome, and welcome everybody.
Well, thank you, Kim. It's great to be here. As always, it's always it feels like home. You know, I'm like, oh, I get to be here with Kim. So this is nice. So without further ado, let's kick this off a little bit with my first favorite. I have many favorites, but this is my first favorite segment, Entrepreneur Land.
I love Entrepreneurland, Kat, and I must giggle and say this theme of today's show was inspired by you. I am part of your small space Pilates community, and you have a no perfection policy in place, loud and clear, and that is what we are going to talk about today as entrepreneurs on this adventure. Kat, you inspired the no perfection policy.
I did. But I think as an entrepreneur, if you're expecting to be perfect on this journey, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a bumpy ride. I'm just going to say. So just take a breath, take everything as it comes, deal with the ups, deal with the downs, and keep it moving.
I love it, Kat. And we definitely are not perfect around here. We will say that loud and clearly, but we do want you to see what is possible when you let go of the perfection and the worrying about being perfect. So may not be everybody's flavor. Everybody may like a little more polish to their entrepreneurial show, but around here we like the real deal. So there you go.
Can I just tell you, Kim, that my husband is listening to me because the other day he reminded me that messy is beautiful.
Oh,
I said, oh, you do listen to me.
Let's just give a quick shout out. Hi, Peter. Love it.
So should we do a cheers to the numbers? Oh, we haven't done a cheers to the numbers. Let's go to, I'm jumping ahead, Kim. I'm so sorry. Y'all, I've been gone for a week, but I'm back. I swear. So before we jump to what numbers? I know, right? Let's go to the GME Chronicles.
Thank you, Kim and team. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. My name is Jill Olish, and we have some updates for you today, October 4th, 2024. The GME Chronicles is a celebration of moving the needle in our businesses. And we want to share these numbers out loud with you to show what is possible when we come together in business. The total of 14 events last week included 3 Pilates classes with Kat, Mama Outspoken Village Gathering, Social Media Bootcamp, TNT Website Workshop, Website Royalty Workshop, and My Sexy Business Health Sessions for rounds 27 and 28 of Fire Up Mastermind, 2 sessions of Showtime Mastermind, and 2 sessions of Groundwork Brigade Mastermind. Donna hosted the Big Show and Tell, and My Sexy Business posted 1 blog and was live with show number 80 of GME. 5 new podcast episodes dropped last week. Go give them a listen. Sisters in Service with episode 164. Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast with episode 75. 515 Interviews Leadership Series with episode 35. Buckets and Boom Gates episode number 77. And Late Bloomer Living with episode 199. On Clubhouse, Adam and Denise hosted the My Sexy Business Not Creepy Room on Wednesday, and on Thursday we held the 7th Walk and Talk with the community. You can connect with the Roving Reporters in the GME directory. Just go to www.mysexybusiness.com/GME to go find everyone there. Last week's total of 22 brings the grand total to 5,716 amazing things done collectively by this community since December 2021. We look forward to more updates coming up next week. If you are ready to join in on the fun around here, you can find us coming up at the Sticky Note Time Accountability, as well as the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit on the 11th. Plus, save the date for the next Groundwork Brigade Open House, November 6th and 7th, as well as the Hope to Hope event on November 22nd. Back to you in the GME studio.
I love those numbers.
Amazing numbers, Kat. Now it's time to cheers. Wait, there we go. I'm a Fierce Entrepreneur mug with me today. So, Kat, I am giggling because we want to just call these things out. We don't want to sweep them under the rug, and we just want to say things out loud. The no perfection policy, we are not kidding y'all. We mean that. And Kat, I love that you jumped ahead in the agenda. And I love that we could be that living proof that we don't have to be perfect to have a good time. And we don't have to be perfect to do a show. We don't have to be perfect to podcast. We don't have to be perfect to, and you guys can fill in the blanks. You don't have to be perfect. So I love this today, Kat.
I do too. It's great timing. Like really great timing.
That's even funnier. Well, let's head over to one of my favorites, and that's Military Minute with our very own Kat Corchado. What made you want to have this podcast and do what you do to help so many people?
Great question. It was during COVID, and at some point it was around, I'd been out 17 years, and you've heard me talk about my transition, how difficult it was. And after being in several women veterans groups, I kept hearing this same story, the same how difficult it was. And I'm thinking, have we not fixed this yet? But also giving women a platform, whether it's to talk about their transition, whether it's to talk about their business. I love talking about women veterans in business who are being bosses in their business. And I thought this is a way to highlight women. And that's where it started initially. And then I opened it up because when one person is in the military, the entire family is in the military. And I opened up to military brats, military spouses, male or female, men too, because they have a lot to bring to the table. And veteran service organizations that I feel are doing their due diligence with veterans. And that's what fuels me.
So if anyone's watching and they are military related in any capacity, reach out to Kat.
Please do. I always tell my guests, it isn't 60 minutes. We're having a conversation just like Kim and I are having a conversation right now. It's fun. It's light. It's a way for people to listen and laugh a little bit because I get goofy sometimes, but to also get information out there that's necessary for someone who may need to hear it. And I feel as though if I've given some information through my podcast and one person heard it, I'm good with that.
And I want to point out, Kat has many, 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 many listeners. I appreciate the fact that you care about each individual person, each one that's listening.
I very much do. Thank you, Kim.
I love this episode, Kat, because it shows true heart of yours. Like, we get to hang out with you a lot, so we know who you really are. A lot of people put on that face. They want to show a different side, but Kat, you really do believe in the no perfection policy, and this is just another example of it. Your podcast is lovely. Like, you do such a good job podcasting. So I'm so proud of you.
That's one of my favorites too. They're all my favorite. I'm just going to say that. So if I say my favorite, don't think it's the only one. They're all my favorites. But I think, it gives you kind of like a leeway saying, okay, I just got to do it. It's going to be messy. I'll do it and I'll get better. I'll level up. And that's what you tell us all the time in the community.
And it's true, Kat. I think anyone who's entertaining the thought of starting a podcast, that is probably the best thing to say, is take the perfection off and just do it.
Just do it. Absolutely.
And
I agree.
You have a bazillion podcast episodes as proof that you've kept it moving and that you are doing the amazing work that you are to help military, and entrepreneurs and people who have been injured and people who have been, diagnosed with cancer. You just have a lot of people you impact. So thank you. That's what I've got to say to that.
Oh, thank you, Kim.
Kat will be one of the leaders too. I want you guys to know, I want to remind everybody that next Friday, 6 p.m. Central, we will be having the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit, and Kat will be one of the leaders on the round table. The discussion is entrepreneurial, but you'll be able to ask questions on the live stream. So wherever you're watching today, you'll be able to watch the summit in the same place. Be sure and join us. We also have an after party. If you guys would like to see the icon Kat Corchado herself and actually have a conversation with her, come to the after party. It's really fun. So that's all I'm going to say about that, Kat.
I cannot wait for the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit. And speaking of Fierce Entrepreneurs, our first segment is with Jill Olish and with Mama Entrepreneurs.
Jill Olish is the ambassador of moms, founder and leader of the Mama Outspoken Village, published author, podcast host, executive team leader of My Sexy Business, host of the Vision Board Party, associate producer, and GME Roving Reporter.
Thanks, Kim. So what are some of the skills that I had going into becoming a virtual assistant and entrepreneur? And I don't really think that the things that I did beforehand transferred over very well. I think a lot of the stuff that I did matter-of-factly in life are what has come over. Like, I started out doing social media, so I was good on my phone on Instagram, so why not do that? That was one of the skills that I had. But I actually had to unlearn so much more then bring over skills from elsewhere. So I did a lot of unlearning on sales, unlearning on how I wrapped my mind around working on a team, and also being flexible. I thought I was coming into working as an entrepreneur with flexibility as a skill that I already had. But I was sorely mistaken when jumping right in as a mom and an entrepreneur. And that flexibility, I was just a little control freaky on. So that is probably the biggest unlearning that I had to do. So I'd say there was more unlearning than skills being brought over. So don't be afraid of when you are thinking about making a shift into entrepreneurship, because you might have to do a lot of unlearning, and not necessarily do you need a whole bunch of other skills already that can be brought over to where you are. Although you being you is all you'll probably need anyway. Back to you in the GME studio.
I love this segment, Kat.
I do too. I think, Jill is such a powerhouse, and what she brings to the table is every mother is going to go through something. And for her to have her village where mothers can talk about all of these things. And even if you're a new mom and you're not there yet, that you get to hear some of this stuff, so it's not a surprise to you. And Jill has written a book, Mama Outspoken, where she talks about all of this stuff in her book. It's on my to-do list, Jill. I'm just saying, to get your book. But if you haven't connected with Jill, please do so, and check out her book while you get a chance.
So I want to add one more thing about her book too, Kat, and that is, obviously my kid is full grown, like all of the things, but there's so much in there that gives you insight into helping the next generation even. So I don't want you to discount yourself if you have, passed your, we'll call it childbearing days. The book is really good. It gives a lot of insight in how we can help support younger moms. We can help support people that are going through, things after they have a baby too. So I want to add that to the list of reasons why everyone needs to get a copy. Is don't disqualify yourself.
That's a great point, Kim, because you might know someone who you recognize the signs. And, if you get the book, please read it. Don't just give it to them. Read it first and then say, you really need to read this. I've read this and I think it might help. So
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So let's head over to the other half of the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast crew. Jill is one half and Linda is the other. So let's head over to Linda's segment on conversations and storytelling for entrepreneurs. Linda Bonney is a master storyteller, conversationalist, creative writer, podcast host and producer, published author, summit leader, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim. Humans trust other humans the most. And with technology moving faster and faster forward, humanizing your conversations as an entrepreneur is imperative. So I'm talking to you right now as a human, and hopefully to other humans, but maybe alongside your pet cat or dog, Budrigar or pet Stegosaurus. Just checking if you're listening. And what makes this trustworthy in this very moment is how easily we can understand each other. And what makes something easy to understand is when people can relate to it. Maybe you don't have a pet dinosaur as such, but you might be sitting with a doggo at your feet. Or have you had a dog in your life previously that you still hold dear? Are you having a coffee with your GME watching this morning? Or have you already had it? People want to see a human that will treat them like a human being, with pets, coffees, and real lives. This translates to a brand that they can understand and a brand that they can trust. Make your business human so that others can relate to it, rather than just becoming another transaction on their bank statement. How human are you being today? Back to you in the GME studio.
This may be my favorite segment she's ever done, Kat.
yes, absolutely.
Love it.
I think it's it's funny when, that these recordings are coming up and I'm listening to her and I'm going, yeah, Linda. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, wait.
I love it. Well, so Linda is a master storyteller, and I am giggling about the dinosaur. Like, I don't have a dinosaur, but I do have a puppy. Like, that keeps me busy plenty enough. But her stories are so amazing. I'm going to go a little sidetracked for a second. She is in a challenge right now where she's writing every day and doing certain things, but she's put out a lot of blogs lately that are absolutely incredible because they're a variety of stories that she has written, and it's so impressive. She's got a podcast. Like, I don't want to miss that. She's got a podcast with Jill, Mugged Up My Self-Care. She's got a podcast, Sundays with I always say it backwards, Stories with the Sunday Roast. And she's got book collections that go with that. But I really want to point to her blog. I want to point to what she's working really hard on right now.
Mhm.
So if you have not connected with Linda, there's a directory. You can go there, but you can also go to lindabonney.com, and I believe it's /blog. If you want great stories to read on the daily, she has been posting a lot of them. So I sorry to go off the agenda. Adam might fire me, but I'm just going to put that out there. I think it's important.
He might just give you a warning, Kim. He may not fire you. He'll just give you a warning.
Oh, I don't even want a warning.
I just love Linda. I'm so in awe of her and everything she's able to accomplish, with everything else is going on in her life. So I want to be like Linda when I grow up. I'm just going to say that. So let's move on to our next reporter, who is Donna Bender with the Surprise and Delight Marketing.
Donna Bender is a master givologist, branding product strategist, corporate marketing trainer, published author, host of The Big Show and Tell, summit leader, and GME Roving Reporter.
Thanks, Kim. This is Donna Bender coming to you today as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Today's Surprise and Delight marketing segment is on how branded products can affect our different senses that will keep our brand top of mind. Did you know that people remember what they see, hear, touch, taste, and smell far better than what they read? Ever wonder why some brands seem to stay in your mind with you long after you've seen them? Well, that's the power behind our sight. When I presented a product or an idea, I usually tell someone that I'm a visual person. I really have to see something to understand, process, and remember it. Visual cues like colors, shapes, and designs are more than just eye candy. They're the glue that holds your brand together. Studies show that color alone can boost brand recognition by up to 80%. Think about Coca-Cola's red, or Tiffany's blue boxes, or McDonald's golden arches. These aren't just random choices. They're strategic, memorable, and powerful. But it's not just about slapping on a logo. It's about creating a visual experience that resonates. Imagine your brand on a stylish tote you gave out at a conference or outdoor event, and your logo pops with vibrant colors, a unique design or message. That's the kind of lasting impression that keeps your brand in sight and top of mind long after the event ends. So choose your colors wisely. They can be the difference between blending in or standing out. More to come. Back to you at the GME studio.
Donna is so awesome. I know, right? She does such great things. She has so much knowledge, and we have all benefited, in this community from what Donna has done. And she has put a lot of this information in her books. We have a lot of authors here in this group, and she is one of them. And her book is The Art of Giveology, Giving Your Way to Success in Business.
I love it. I pull stuff from it. Like, I just want to say that because there's so much stuff in there. She talks about the differences between gifts and giveaways, which is really important when you're trying to figure this strategic, branding and strategic marketing pieces out. Following Donna get you big results. Let me just say that. And I also want to point out that she has a show and tell. It's called The Big Show and Tell, once a month on her YouTube channel. And it is at Donna Bender Giving. So if you have not gone over, go over and subscribe. And I want to just take 1 second, Kat, to also say that anyone watching and that is enjoying GME, Good Morning Entrepreneurs, I would love it if you would take a minute and subscribe to this channel as well, because we are doing things for entrepreneurs. We believe we're a home for entrepreneurs, those who need to be in community, which let me just say is all of us. And I think it's really important that you, when you're on an adventure like this, that you have support. And we love being that support in this community. I love how you support Donna and Donna supports you. Like, I love how just watching everybody. I love to see Adam and Jill, the way they support each other. I love to see Adam and Denise, the way they support each other on Clubhouse. So there's lots of connections, y'all. If you don't know who all these peeps are that we're talking about, go on over to the directory. We have the directory available so that you can connect with everybody. One of the things, and I am just going to call it out loud, Kat, is the sponsor of this show. One of them is Groundwork Brigade Mastermind Community. And I feel like we may annoy some of you talking about it a lot because we love it so much, but it's legit. Like, when you don't have that and then you find that, it is like something you talk about probably too much. I probably talk too much about it, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the people in the community. I'm grateful for what we do together. And we have an open house coming up, and in just a very short time, let me say that. November 6th and 7th, we will have an open house, but I'd love it if you'd go through a roving reporter to come. Find your favorite roving reporter, reach out to them, have a conversation with them. They'll have a conversation with you. And I think it's important to say all that. And I'm sorry I'm getting a little melty about it, but it does. It makes me so proud of the community. So
can I just say, Kim, for anyone they're not sure or they're not really sure what it is, remember back in high school when you go into a particular class and the teacher would be like, okay, we don't have any subject for today. You can just work on your homework and stuff. And you could sit quietly and do your homework. Or if you had a question, you could go up to the teacher and ask the question. That's exactly what Groundwork Brigade is. You can work quietly on something, or you can ask questions if you have questions to get answers. So that's my 2.5 cents.
Oh my goodness, Kat. I've not heard that analogy before. That was great. So
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, you are tuning in to Good Morning Entrepreneurs, and we're so glad you're here with us today. I still can't get over it. It's show number 81, y'all. And today's theme is no perfection policy. We believe in not being perfect. We believe in showing up. So we love this. I want to mention again the GME directory. If you want to connect with any of the roving reporters, please go over and get the directory, mysexybusiness.com. Like, you'll find it there, /GME. Sorry about forgot the last part of it, /GME. But you want to watch the replays, you want to check out any of the other things that's going on in the community, please go and check it out and connect with everybody.
That was great, Kim. One of the things that, because of GME, we get a lot of questions from entrepreneurs. And so if you allow me, Kim, to talk about the question of the week. And the question is, how do I get unstuck in my business? Groundwork Brigade Mastermind.
I love that answer, Kat. I think this is such a legit question. I can remember when I started the first business I ever did, and I would get stuck all the time because I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone to ask questions. So I I want you to give your answer, Kat, for this question as well, because we do need to find someone we can ask a lot of times. Sometimes that's in a book, sometimes it's on YouTube, sometimes it's real humans, but real humans is always my favorite. It's just sometimes we don't know someone, but that's why we're here. That's part of why we do this show.
For me, I think it was, for those of you that don't know, me and the word entrepreneur had a long-term relationship before we decided to get married. And it was because of getting stuck, because I didn't know what to do. You get stuck and you're like, okay, maybe I'm not meant to do this. But when you have a community or someone you can go to ask the question, and keep in mind, you may need to ask the question a few times. And again, with this community, Kim always says, ask until you're clear. And so I've probably asked her the same question, I don't know, Kim, 50 times before I got the answer right. But that's the beauty of this, is that you keep asking the question, because you're going to get clearer and clearer and clearer until you go, oh, I get it. Because that's what happened to me. So don't be stuck. Stop. Sometimes you can figure it out on your own. But if you can't, that's when you need to talk to someone, or be in a group, or come to Groundwork Brigade, or, to the open house, ask those questions.
Well, I'm going to use an analogy from our community, which is the freaking fabulous cat again. But I will say one thing that gets me stuck is getting overwhelmed. And one of the things that Kat does in a brilliant way, and I have to just call this out, is even in fitness, because we entrepreneurs sit on our bottoms too much. Let me just say that. A lot of times we are sitting behind screens doing work that we want to be moving. And yes, I know there are standing desks, but I'm telling you, I can't walk and chew bubble gum. Just saying. But Kat has such a way of leading you to the next little thing and the next little thing until you look back and you're like, oh my goodness, all of these things I can do now. So I think this compares, Kat, and you are half of the Salty Sisters, but each of these halves stand alone. Let me say that. And I want to go to our next segment, that is Kat's segment on health and wellness for entrepreneurs, because Kat will take you in small steps to great heights. Let me say that.
I like that.
Kat Corchado is a proud military veteran, health and wellness professional, founder of Small Space Pilates, movement specialist for injury, illness, and cancer recovery, podcast host, published author, and GME roving reporter.
Thank you in the GME studio. Hi, everyone. How did that stretch for the back of your neck? How was it? Did it work for you? If not, I have another stretch for you today. This one is for the sides of the neck. So you're going to take one hand gently on the side of your head. You never push down. You always just kind of create a little pressure, only because of the weight of your arm. Let your other arm hang down, and you can just stretch. Look, doesn't that look good? It feels even better. And whatever you do to one side, you always do to the other side, which is very, very important. Again, make sure this video or all of these videos are appropriate for you. So make sure you check with your physical therapist and or your doctor to make sure that you can do this stretch. These are stretches that can be done all the time. It just has to be appropriate for your body. So until next time, back to you in the GME studio.
Thank you, Kat, for always sharing great things with us. And Kat offers, let me just say this, she founded a community where she helps all of us. I'm part of the community. She's a movement specialist. And Kat, I'm going to give a different definition than usual for this.
Okay.
Because I think people need to understand, when someone is as trained as you are, because you do have lots of like certifications and all of the things. But when someone pays attention to how your body is broken or harmed or something is wrong with it, and someone pays attention and can say, if you just do this little tiny thing, it will change for you. I don't know. I don't think there's a value you can put on that. I think it's priceless because you give us back our health. You give us back our ability to, yes, of course we want to look good, Kat, but it's not about the looking good and feeling bad. It's about the looking good and feeling good.
Absolutely.
And I think that's you. That's what you do for all of us. So I want to share again, and I know I do this often, but I want to share that Kat gives away a complimentary week that you can come and try it out. Come and try out the community and see what all the rage is about.
People are clamoring.
That's right. That's right. Kat has a lot of clients. Let me just, I'm going to go on for just a second because Kat has a lot of clients that are like professional ball players, professional ballerinas. She has, what I'm going to say is pretty high up people come to Kat and she helps them. But Kat, I am more in awe of the fact that you help like little entrepreneurs like me. You have come into my life and truly increased my health. So if you're out there listening and you are, especially if you're sitting behind a screen, you need to get into the community, SS Pilates, join the yacht club, become healthier, because you can live your dreams louder if you're able to get there. Like, I'm just saying, Kat.
That's huge, Kim. That's huge. And I just want to say that it doesn't matter whether you've worked out before, you haven't worked out before. I get it. I understand. But we have to start off with baby steps. And from the baby steps, we get regular steps. And then you're like Kim, you're going upstairs and then you're climbing mountains and doing all the things.
That's right, Kat. That's right. I love it.
And speaking of mountains, this next roving reporter is someone who is talking about that mountain called midlife. She's the other half of the Salty Sisters, Miss Yvonne Marchese, and she's going to be talking about entrepreneurship. Let me do that again. Entrepreneurship later in life.
Yvonne Marchese is the president of the Age Agitators Club, creator of the Aging Playfully Play Shop, podcast host, published author, branding photographer, summit leader, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim. This is Yvonne Marchese coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I am coming to you from my local skate park. That's why this looks like this. I just took off my helmet and pads, and I am using this time. I'm taking a little break from skating to hop on a work call because I can. Because that's the way I have organized my life and my business. And I just want to say that there are ways to make your business workable for you so that you can have your life, enjoy your life. And I'm pretty thrilled to be here. I'm tickled that it's such a beautiful day and I can come and enjoy it. And I just want to say, you can too. You just got to think about how you can arrange it to make that happen. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
I love what Yvonne does and her message. And even for me, someone in the fitness and wellness industry, we get in our heads about things, and aging is one of those. But now it's like we're all aging as we sit here. You guys are listening and you're aging. So why not have fun? Just go out and do it and have a good time with it. And Yvonne has a podcast. She started her podcast a little bit before I did. And she is in her, 5th season as a podcast host. So I want to say super congratulations to my friend and fellow entrepreneur and masterminder, Yvonne Marchese.
I love it. Well, Late Bloomer Living is the name of the podcast. If you are of any age, let me say, not just of an age, but of any age, go and listen to it because she has the best guests on there, Kat. I know you've been on there. You're one of my favorite episodes when she interviewed you, but she's interviewed hundreds of people literally. And she's got some pretty amazing guests on there. And we do have a little celebration something for her, but it won't be till next week. So just putting that out there. We did not forget that she has passed her 200th episode. We just couldn't get there's a no perfection policy, I hear. Let me say that. We couldn't get our act together to get the video done for this week. So there you go.
I love it.
Well, speaking of amazing podcasters, I think everyone should be reminded that Sisters in Service podcast is Kat's podcast she hosts. That's for military of all sorts and kinds. I will say that. That she also has wellness and health not issues, episodes. I almost said issues. Sorry. And we also have another fun podcast that we kind of all land on. I'm going to say Kat is actually the one that is in the intro and the outro for the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast that Jill and I host. Jill Olish and we have had the pleasure of doing, I don't know what we're up to, so I'm just going to be honest. I think we're up to 80-ish. Can I say ish? But we've had a lot of fun doing the podcast. Carrie Zarb and I started it, and then she passed the baton to Jill. And I know for sure we've had Denise Millay on. We've got multiple guests coming up on the episodes, but it's also an entrepreneurial podcast. We talk about a lot of things and we make a lot of confessions on there. Can I just say that? That's probably one of my funnest things that we do. And then I listen to it again and I'm like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have said that, But going back to that no perfection policy, if you're someone who requires perfect, please do not go listen to Buckets and Boom Gates. Let me just say that. Let me just put that out.
The disclaimer.
That's the disclaimer. So there you go, Kat. Again, I'm just going to leave that there. No perfection policy theme today, and we live up to it.
Perfection policy in full effect today. Just saying.
In full effect. Love it. Love it. Well, someone we think is pretty perfect around here, I will say. And we've got some more announcements to make of living proof of what she's helped this community do. But that is Denise Millay and her segment on helping entrepreneurs be findable online. Denise Millay is the findability queen, search marketing consultant, technology simplifier, host of the virtual scavenger hunt, published author, summit leader, and GME roving reporter. Tell me about how search works whenever you're literally talking to all of the apps or all of the things that we have available to us now. How is that different than the typing in all the keywords and all of the things?
Voice search is different in that people use more words often. They speak in natural language. So it'll have thes and us and ands and here and there. And that's not normally sometimes what you see in a title for a podcast or a page, right? So if you're thinking about creating content for people who are using voice, which it's a lot because 63% of people are searching on mobile. That's the number. And we all know how much we love those little mobile keyboards, our favorite things to type on, right? So people are using voice. If they can use voice, they're using it. So you should create content that has titles and descriptions with your keywords that are more in natural language. So you will match with the way that they're speaking. So instead of, this is a silly thing, but business letter pieces, you would say how to write a business letter. What are the parts of a business letter? Would be your title. So people aren't going to type in a lot of extra words. They're going to type as little as possible, even on a laptop or a desktop, because that's how we are. But they're going to speak a lot more. And they're going to speak while they're driving and they're walking and there's background noise. And so don't overdo it on the words, but definitely natural language is very, very helpful. And it's only going to become more.
I love this. I think we need to coin a new phrase inspired by Denise Cat, and that's fat finger titles. Is the titles for people who fat finger their phones trying to search for something.
You know what I call it? I always tell my husband I text like a toddler. No, toddlers are just like this. But I'm trying to say something and it comes out gibberish like a toddler. So yes, that's me. Full confession.
Well, I think it's amazing what Denise has taught us about all the different things. And this is just another example because voice search is different. It is different. I definitely use 4,000 words sometimes to my 4 that I would type in when I am trying to speak something because I'm rattling. Like I'm rattling along. I want to make sure it finds me what I want, but I'm talking, into it. Yes, I'm a talker. But I am giggling because Denise has all these brilliant, she just drops these things and then it's like, just this little thing. But here's the problem with that. There are some of us who are getting crazy results from these little tiny drops that Denise does. And we are one of them. We've set records with our website this year. And I want to call out Adam Rothenberg because Adam has done the work. And I know if you guys get tired of hearing this, just tune me out, I guess. But that's why you're here. You want to know how to get results from things. Listen to Denise. That's how you get results. Adam has gone past the 1.1 million visitors to his site. That was based on Denise helping him know what to implement. Started with one small thing, went to another small thing. It has not been this, big, I'm going to use the word, Denise is going to kill me, but it's not been this big SEO agency that, he had to pay to do these things. Adam has done this. So if you want results with your website, if you want people to find you to do business with you, you need to connect with Denise. We don't know how else simpler to make that. Connect with Denise. Follow what she says.
I love the fact that she says something so simple and it's so huge to us. Like she's like, yeah, if you just do this, and we're like, oh, I didn't know. So she has all these little, I call them little golden nuggets of information.
Exactly. So. And before we get fired, Kat, we better go ahead and say we need to point to her book too. Adam's going to fire me again.
That's your second warning, Kim. You only get one more.
Just for this show, that's my second warning. Let's be clear. So Denise's book is Be Findable. If they can't find you, they can't do business with you, which so true. So true. It's available on Amazon. You can go get your own copy and start implementing. You don't have to do it all in a day. She breaks it down in a way that you can start where you are. Because just look at Adam. Do what Adam does. That's what I'm thinking. Do what Adam does.
Like Adam.
1.1 plus million visitors. So that's pretty impressive.
It is. And I think speaking of being findable, but let's switch it. Our next roving reporter has entertainers trying to find him. So they can be interviewed by him. He is known as the interview king, and that is our one and only Adam Rothenberg, who is our next segment.
Adam Rothenberg is the interview king, media personality, creator of the Call Me Adam entertainment platform, published author, podcast host, red carpet correspondent, associate producer, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. It's Adam, and I'm back in the closet for yet another edition of Behind the Curtain. And instead of telling this behind the curtain story, I thought I would just share the blooper that happened. And today I want to talk about my interview with John Tartaglia, who you know as the original Rod Princeton in the Broadway production of Avenue Q. You may also know him from his Disney series, from his television show. Okay, take two. After Avenue Q closed, John offered a masterclass in puppetry, and I was so excited to take it. And I took it, and I actually started using Hampton, my puppet. Oh, you know what? I should. Hold on. We're going to redo this. Poor Hampton has just been sitting on top of my cabinet in my apartment, but today it was definitely time to bring him out. So that is today's behind the curtain story. So that is today's behind the curtain story. It's back to you in the GME studio. I think that was better. I think I want to do it just one more time. Take 21. 21 is going to be a good year. Thanks, Kim and Carrie. Well, I hope you enjoyed this blooper and laughed as much as I did. And that is today's behind the curtain story. It's back to you in the GME studio.
Oh my God, that was awesome. Oh my gosh.
So funny. Anyway, and then for him to share the bloopers, but the funniest thing about this cat is this is a no perfection policy theme for today. When he submitted the video, that wasn't like, who knew what the theme was going to be, like when he had the idea of doing the blooper reel. So I love Adam and his bloopers.
I love it too. And Adam is another author in our group, and he has a book coming out soon. I think we have it.
So it's not ready yet. Like, I want to make sure everybody knows to hold off on ordering it. Get ready because it's coming, but we've got just a little bit more to go on it. But look how beautiful it is. Like, I just want everybody to see. Well, I'm so awkward. Okay, no perfection policy again. But it is
I love it.
A beautiful, beautiful book. And it's full of, Adam's going to kill me again. This is probably my third warning, but it's got like over 1,000 pictures and graphics that are like from Adam interviewing all these celebrities and like the things that he's learned. The title of the book, and I have to read it to say it properly, is Behind the Curtain, The Mistakes, Lessons Learned, and Triumphs of Interviewing Celebrities. So Adam knows everybody. Can I just say that?
He does. And I'm just going to ask the question. I'm not sure if there's a picture. Does he have a picture or no?
Let's hope.
He does.
Aww. So
I love it.
I am giggling because Adam he knows everybody. Let me just repeat that. Adam knows everybody. He just knows everybody. And I love the fact that he takes it so serious. His bloopers come from his seriousness of wanting to make sure he does a good job, and he does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, you don't want to see my bloopers. You probably don't want to hear my bloopers either.
No, everybody would want to see mine, Kat, because they are quite hysterical. We could probably win money, Kat. We could probably win money.
We'll send that video in.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's time for us to go to none other than Princess Speak.
Oh my gosh, I'm laughing because I got my like tiara stuck on my sweater in the back. So just so y'all understand, like we are hot messes around here, and we're okay with it. We're okay with it. But this week's Princess Speak word is in the weeds. And Princess Speak is the simple business language for entrepreneurs that our community uses on the daily. In the weeds is one of probably our favorite ones around here. I hear everybody using it on everybody. Oh, are you in the weeds? Are you in the weeds? And truth is, trying to be perfect will get you in the weeds. And one thing I am having an issue with right now is why we don't have the rest of the crew up here. Like, what is going on? This is a no perfection policy, but hello. No. That was not the view. So no perfection policy. Adam, don't fire me. I am not in the weeds. How's that?
Oh my goodness. I think when I hear in the weeds, it just means I need to get up and move away from whatever it is I'm trying to do. I need to just move away from it. Like if I'm stuck at something at my desk or I'm trying to figure out something, or, you know, if you've ever you're trying to concoct an email and you think it's perfect and you get up and you take a break and come back and realize all the typos that are in that email. So being in the weeds sometimes means you just need a break. You need a diversion, something that'll just take your mind off of it and then come back. Because a lot of times when you do that, your brain goes, oh, here's where you need to go. So that's my 2.5 cents.
Great remedy for being in the weeds. Oh, Denise, your sound is off. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, we were just talking earlier to Denise, so we know she has sound. We know she has a voice.
She does.
She does. Okay, Jilla or Adam?
Well, I think in the weeds, first off, it's where you find yourself like an hour or two later, like, where did I go? Especially in some of our design projects where we're like just searching and searching and searching, and you're like, all right, we got to take a break. But I might get in the weeds now looking for a crown, because in the green room, all of a sudden I saw every single one of you whip out your crowns, and I'm like, where's mine? So that's where my weeds are right now. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go look for a crown.
Love it.
For me, being in the weeds is similar to what Jill was saying. It may not be searching for a design for an hour, but it could be I'm typing up a blog post and all of a sudden I noticed I did something here that I like better. Oh, let me go back to this blog post and now this blog post, and it's going back, or it is working on a design and it's, oh, I just colored it this color and now all those designs need to be colored. Let me go back to the beginning and recolor everything. And then I realized an hour later, why aren't I any further than when I first started? So that for me is being in the weeds.
Mm-hmm. Great example, Adam. Denise, do you have a voice yet?
I don't know. Do I?
Yay!
I'll get it right sooner or later. In the weeds for me is overthinking things. And I do that. I am so guilty of it, where I have to make things big and it's got all these moving parts and I have to explain all the way down to, like the dawn of time. And it really doesn't have to be that way. And so I have to get up myself and just go, yeah, they don't need all that. Just little bits. So that's me in the weeds.
Great definition, Denise. And you, Sweetwater, let me just say to you, stay out of the weeds, stay on the path, stay on the adventure. It doesn't mean you won't have fun. You just have to keep yourself in check sometimes and require yourself to implement a no perfection policy as well. Love y'all. Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central.
This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.